Urbanization and industrialization brought sweeping changes to Western nations. People looking for solutions to the problems created by these developments began to demand reforms. They wanted to improve conditions for workers and the poor. Many people also began to call for political reforms. They demanded that more people be given a greater voice in government. Many different groups, including the middle class, workers, and women, argued that the right to vote be extended to groups that were excluded. Britain became a constitutional monarchy in the late 1600s. Under this system of government, the monarch serves as the head of state, but Parliament holds the real power. Parliament is like our Congress here in the United States. The British Parliament consists of a House of Lords and a House of Commons. Traditionally, members of the House of Lords either inherited their seats or they were appointed. In layman's terms, this is the rich people who were living in Britain at the time. However, this changed in 1999 when legislation was passed that abolished the right of hereditary peers to inherit a seat in the House of Lords. Members of the House of Commons are elected by the British people. Since the 1600s, Britain's government had been a constitutional monarchy. A king or queen ruled the country, but the elected legislature, Parliament, held the real power. Still, very few people could vote for members of Parliament. Only men who owned property, which were about 5% of the population, had the right to vote. That situation changed in the 1800s. The Reform Bill of 1832 was the first step. Middle-class people across England protested the fact that they could not vote. Worried by revolutions sweeping Europe, Parliament passed the Reform Bill. This law gave suffrage, which is the right to vote, to many in the middle class. Those who still could not vote began the Chartist movement. They wanted the vote and other rights that went along with it. They presented their demands to Parliament in the People's Charter of 1838. Although they did not get what they wanted at first, over time their demands became law. The leader of England during all of these changes was Queen Victoria. She was queen for 64 years. She performed her duties wisely and capably, but during her reign, Parliament gained more power. The era that she was queen is known as the Victorian Age. The only queen to serve longer than Queen Victoria is Queen Elizabeth, who is now the current Queen of England.